Today's the day. It's Clay Day! Woo! Let's talk about some things before you get started. First, you will need a piece of clay, a baggie with your magic number, and a toolkit and a slip container. We'll get those things out in a little bit. But first, here's how you get started when you get your clay. Put your baggie to the side and take your big ball clay and squish them in the palms of your hand. My hands are pushing towards each other to make that into a snowball shape. I am not using the table to roll. Use your hands. Roll that ball until it's nice and round. It doesn't have to be perfect and smooth. And then use the fat part of your thumb to tap gently to flatten your clay out. I'm going around in a circle, and I'm flipping my clay over when I do this to make sure that I'm not going too thin in one spot. I'm using gentle taps, and I'm flipping so it doesn't get stuck to the tablecloth. Right now it's about hamburger thickness. That is too thick, so I'm going to keep going. Around and around and around. I am watching what I'm doing. I'm not talking to my friends right now. Flip it over and keep going. Remember, watch where it's thin and don't hit if it gets too thin in that one spot. This looks great. It's about the size of a cookie, cookies, and if I give it a shake, it doesn't really wiggle. That's great. Sometimes people get distracted and they're not paying attention and they go crazy and squish that clay super thin. This is more like a crepe. It's floppy, and when I hold it, it doesn't hold its shape. It just blobs all over. If that happens to you today, just go ahead and rip up your clay, throw it at the table a couple times to turn it back into a ball, and start over again. Wow, that got fast. All right, we are back to cookie mode. Now that I tried it a second time, I noticed there are a couple lines on the edges, so I'm going to smooth out anything on the edges. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Take time today to smooth as you go. Great. Now I think I'm ready for his snout. He's the right thickness. I'm going to grab some extra clay. And you have a couple ways you could make your snout today. You could take that extra clay in one ball and pound it into a pancake or a slab. And you could have one big snout. This would be great for a puppy dog. But you also could break that into smaller pieces. If you wanted to make a kitty, this would be a great choice for you. Roll those into smaller pieces and again, make some little baby pancakes. We don't want these to be too thick. They can be thinner than your base slab. Last year, second grade made these very tiny. Make sure yours are filling up at least half of your kitty or puppy's face. All right, so I've got two big circles and one smaller circle. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do I make my puppy or kitty's nose? Take another ball of clay, roll it up, use your pincher fingers to squish it down a little bit, open, close, open, close. And then I'm going to use my pointer fingers for this next point. I could keep it an oval if I wanted to. That's a perfectly great nose. But if you want to make it more triangle-y, you are going to use gentle pinch, 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 pinch to start to make it more narrow. And that would be the bottom of your nose. So I can just pinch, pinch, pinch until it looks right. And I'm starting to get that shape that I want, moving the clay around. And now I've got a really nice puppy nose or a really nice kitty nose. If this is too hard for you, just keep it an oval. That's totally okay. I want to attach these things to my slab. So I'm going to open up my slip, grab my trusty toothbrush, and I'm going to dip them in there. Now, when I go to slip, I don't need a ton, but I'm going to scrub a dub-dub to put some texture on the clay. That is scoring. And then I'm going to press gently but firmly to attach the pieces. If you're too wimpy when you push, your clay will fall apart. If you are too strong, you'll flatten your slab and it will look really gross. So take your time to make sure everything's attached and you slip and score every single piece. And smooth it out when you need to. I'm going to make some eyes if I have time today. If you don't get to the eyes, that is okay. Two little tiny M&Ms. And then I'm going to use my pincher fingers to flatten. Pinch, pinch, pinch. And I've got a tiny little pancake. Roll a ball. Pinch, pinch, pinch. And, oh, one's too big. take a little pinch off and try it again. I always like to make both before I attach because that way I can check the size way easier. Perfect. Now I need to go ahead and decide where I want them to go, and I need to slip and score them on. So pick up your toothbrush, grab a little slip, scrub-a-dub-dub, push, wiggle, get them on there. Scrub-a-dub-dub, push, wiggle, get them on there. And then you have some time to do a little bit of smoothing. Make sure his face is nice and smooth, 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 and he looks gorgeous and beautiful, and everything passes a wiggle test. If everything passes a wiggle test, you're going to open up your baggie, put him all the way in and down by your magic number, and push out the extra air. Then you're going to fold it towards the zipper. Fold, and you do not need to zip. Take it to the tray, wash your hands, and you're finished for today. Have fun, guys.